Quorum is present. I will now call this meeting to order. It is 5 p.m. We have no public comments for posted agenda items today. We will now turn the floor over to Ben Poppy, Chief Financial Officer, who will present a budget workshop.
It was fully funded for 21st century, so no change. Whichever campuses it was on before, yes. All right, any other questions at this time? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Puppy. There be no other business before the board at this time. The meeting is adjourned. The time is 5:06 p.m. As president, I will now call this meeting to order. An executive session of the board will now be held on the matters contained in the notice of this meeting as authorized by sections 551.001 through section 551.084 of the Texas Government Code, the Texas Opens Meetings Act. Should the board determine that any final action, final decision, or final vote be required with regard to any further consideration in such closed or executive meeting or session, then such final action, final decision, or final vote shall be either this public meeting upon the reconvenience of the public meeting or at a subsequent meeting, public meeting of the board upon notice thereof as the board shall determine. A closed or executive meeting of the board will now be held. The time is 5:10 p.m. Session is adjourned, and the board is now in open session. The time is 5:51 p.m. I will entertain a motion on the items covered in executive session. Is there a motion to approve the superintendent employment's contract?
I know Esparza. Move we approve the superintendent's employment contract as presented.
I, Linda Clark Sherrod, second the motion.
A motion was made by Noe Esparza and second by Linda Sherrod. All in favor? The motion carried 7-0 with no abstentions. Is there a motion to approve the employment of contractual personnel?
I, Amanda Arabia, move we approve the employment of contractual personnel as presented.
I, Jose Jimenez, second the motion.
A motion was made by Amanda Arabia and second by Jose Jimenez. All in favor? The motion carried 7-0 with no abstentions. A quorum is present. I will now call the public meeting to order. The time is 5:52 p.m. Ben Poppy, Chief Financial Officer, and Kathy Mateas of Mokes and Casey will conduct a public hearing under Texas Government Code 403.611B regarding an application for a limitation on the taxable value of the property for maintenance and operations and ad valorem tax purposes filed by NRG Greens Bayou 6 LLC, Texas Controller of Public's Account Application J0017 on Job, Energy, Technology, and Innovation Act, JETI.
Well, good evening, President Garza, Board of Trustees, Dr. Moore. I will do a brief introduction for Kathy Mathias with Moat Casey, and then she will run through the public hearing in a brief PowerPoint.
Good evening. What we're here tonight to do is to discuss the JETI application from NRG. Part of the requirement is a public hearing. At the end, I'll present some information, and then at the end, if there's any questions. So the JETI program was enacted in the 88th legislature in 2023. It's a 10-year incentive program for M&O only. It's a limited value limitation, which means it would go, the project goes on your tax roll with a limited value instead of on your tax roll at full value. For M&O only, it would be 50% of the market value. No M&O taxes during construction period except on land. Land is completely excluded from the incentive, so it would be fully taxed like normal. And it's fully taxed for INS purposes. The required investment is based on Harris County population, and it's $200 million for Harris County. The agreement now has 3 parties: the school district, the company, and the governor's office. And the agreement must be a compelling factor for the company in order to locate here in Galena Park. The NRG Greens Bio Projects, Bio 6 project, they say they're going to invest $570 million, which does meet the minimum required in statute. The annual wage commitment is $178,064. They are exempted because they're an electricity generation project from the number of jobs, but they are still held to the wages, and it's a pretty high wage of $178,000 for each of their qualifying jobs, and I believe they said they have 14 qualifying jobs. They plan on having it being a 455 megawatt plant, generation plant. I don't know much about electricity generation, but consisting of 1 natural gas-fired combustion turbine and a single shaft combined cycle configuration. It's going to be located on 6 acres in Harris County, south of US Route 90 and west of Irene Road in a 2020 Texas Enterprise Zone. One of the requirements is it has to be in a reinvestment zone, and an enterprise zone does count. The construction is expected to begin in 2026. During those 3 years of construction, no M&O taxes on the value of the real property, except they would pay full taxes on your land. Otherwise, no M&O taxes, fully taxed for INS during that process. Whatever the appraisal district says is value on the ground during construction, they would pay full INS taxes. And then the incentive period would start in tax year 2029 and would run through 2038. And then it would be taxed at 50% of the market value, which is determined by the appraisal district. Where are you today in this application process? They submitted a new application to the comptroller on May, I have it on my notes, I think it's May 29th. No, May 29th, yes. The comptroller issued a completeness letter, which meant they had everything they needed in the application in order to determine a recommendation letter. That was done on June 30th. The comptroller issued the recommendation letter on July 25th, of which I believe I need to go over that with you. According to the company is an eligible applicant. It is an eligible project being electric generation. They did a 20-year analysis to see if it would bring in more taxes over 20 years than they're saving in taxes. So the benefit, they could collect more taxes, pay more taxes over 20 years than they would save. That's part of the requirement. It's a competitive site selection, so they have other options to go elsewhere, and the comptroller said they approved that in the application. And then it's a qualified opportunity zone. So it's not a qualified opportunity zone, so it's still going to be 50% of the value. If it was a qualified opportunity zone, which are these federal zones, it would be taxed at 25%, but they're not in one, so it's going to be 50. How does it impact you financially, which is, of course, the big question for a school district? We ran it with an assumed tax rate of 82.85, which is a 62.59 compressed rate, 8 golden pennies, 9 copper pennies. And because you're in Harris County, you were one of those districts back from a long time ago that you had additional pennies above the $1.50 back then, of 3.26 pennies. So you get to keep those pennies and collect taxes on this project. During the 10-year incentive period, you would collect about $17 million more additional M&O taxes. With how school finance works with the equalized system, your tier 1 compressed taxes that you're giving up, but that you're gaining because the value's on the tax roll, you would completely offset that with the loss of state aid. So that's the equalized. In tier 2, the golden and the copper penny, you actually have a net gain, a small net gain. You reduce state aid, but you still would have enough of golden in taxes to help you get a little gain of about $360,000 over the life of that incentive, so $36,000 a year. But because of those extra 3.27 pennies that you collect that are unequalized, you would get $680,000 total over the life of the incentive, that 10-year incentive. We estimate you would get about $1 million of benefit to the district on the M&O side. Of course, things in 3 years, your tax rates are going to be different. There's another session in 29. So, but with what we know today, about $1 million of gain on the incentive. When they're getting a tax break, but you get a small gain. And the company still gets $20.9 million of tax savings. On your INS side, fully taxed, with the tax rate right now 37.43. They say the peak value is going to be $506.4 million in tax year 29. You collect an additional INS taxes at the current rate of $21.7 million, which I understand had a bond election in 24 that passed, so this is going to help with your payment. And you don't receive IFA and EDA, but you do get a little more harmless for homestead exemption for harmless. You could potentially have a small reduction in your INS rate if everything was held constant today. What are your next steps? You're meeting statute by having this meeting in the public hearing. You're determining if you're agreeable to enter into an agreement. You do not have an agreement at this point. You're just saying you're willing. If everything goes well and the agreement meets your satisfaction, you're considering whether or not you're willing to enter into one. You had to have a public hearing today. It had to be published 15 days before the public hearing, and you met that requirement in the NRC paper. And within 30 days of the recommendation was July 25th, and so you've met your 30 days. August 11 meets that. We have to notify the governor's office and the comptroller within 7 days of your determination. So once you vote, we'll make sure we get that to the comptroller's office and the governor's office. The governor tends to wait to do their determination until after the school district does. And then the governor's office initiates your draft of the agreement. And so it's the governor's lawyers and y'all's lawyers, which is Thompson Horton, Philip. And then you have 1 year from the date of the recommendation to approve an agreement or not. And so you have until July 24th of 2026 to actually get this accomplished. And then once it's signed an agreement, the executed agreement has to be sent to the comptroller within 7 days. And so that's kind of your process, but tonight kind of satisfies the statute to have a determination meeting within 30 days of recommendation. And you can vote yes or no on that having. And then any questions or comments from the public, and I think the company's here, we have specific questions for the company as well.
Thank you, Mr. Poppy and Ms. Matthias. The public hearing is adjourned. The time is 6:01 p.m. The Board of Trustees of Galena Park Independent School District is now convened in a regular meeting on Monday, August 11, 2025, in the Administration Building of Galena Park Independent School District, the address of which is 14705 Wood Forest Boulevard, Houston, Texas 77015. The time is 6:01 p.m. I want to welcome the members of our audience to this meeting of the Board of Trustees and Galena Park I.S.D. Board of Trustees. We are here to set goals, listen to reports from the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and make policies for the district. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the district are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. Prior to this meeting, board members receive information related to items on tonight's agenda. Agenda items will not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. The meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. During the course of the meeting, the board may determine that a closed session is necessary. In that event, the board will meet in closed session to consider matters duly posted for this meeting as permitted by section 551.071 to 551.0.84, inclusive of the Texas Government Code. I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and that cell phones are turned off or in a silent mode. Thank you for taking the time to join us this evening and for your interest in Galena Park Independent School District. We have no public comments for posted agenda items today. We do have public comments for non-agenda items today. Patrons who have duly registered for policy BED local may address the board regarding matters of concerns or interest in the district, other than the character of any student, staff, or board member. I would like to remind the audience that the comments of the speakers reflect their own positions or opinions. The board may not discuss or act upon any matter that is not listed under action item portion of the agenda. Therefore, board members may not discuss the comments of speakers. Please understand that a lack of response from a board member does not indicate agreement or approval of the comments. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to address the board. The vice president of the board will be the designated timekeeper. Dr. John Moore, will you please step up to the podium?
Hear me? All right. So, I'm up here. Greetings, Mr. President, board, cabinet. I'm up here to express our gratitude to Ms. Norma Hernandez for serving as our board president last year. You know, while to the public, this all looks like a very well-oiled machine, you guys all know that being president is a weight to carry. And she carried it beautifully with grace, and we are deeply appreciative of the work you did for the children of Galena Park. So if you'll step up here, Norma, and receive this. And I think, are we going to take a picture? All right. Thank you.
Tonight's invocation will be presented by me, Ramon Garza, and the pledges to the American and Texas flags will be led by the North Shore Senior High School Air Force JROTC. Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance of the flags. Please bow with me. Loving, gracious God, you're indeed the giver of all good gifts, and we thank you today for all the blessings. We ask for a successful outcome for our 2025-2026 new school year and our school board meeting tonight and all the yearly events to come this year. I ask for a special blessing for all the staff, all the staff members, both the teaching and support members. We ask that you bless and guide them abundantly, and we continue to seek your wisdom, guidance, courage, and strength. Be with us in our deliberations and help us to be wise in the decisions we make for the good of all those who have placed their trust and confidence in our leadership. Give us the insight to lead with integrity, that our decisions may reflect what is right and good. Give us the shortness and the pettiness. Help us to make decisions that are for the good of all, and guard us from blind self-interest. Dear Lord, grant us the humility to always seek your will in all that we do and say. All glory be to your loving God, now and always, through Christ, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Attention. Forward. March. Colors up. Left face. Present. Colors.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Order. Colors. Face. Post. Present. Arms. Order. Arms. Forward. March.
You may be seated. We'll now move on to this evening's special recognitions portion of the agenda. Dr. Moore.
All right, greetings. I'm glad to see we at least have a few audience members the night before school starts. Nobody must have their first day tomorrow, right? All right, so we'll get rolling here and get you through our board meeting, hopefully in a timely manner, so you can all wake up in the morning and brave the traffic on the first day of school, right? You might want to avoid Wallaceville in the morning. I'm just saying.
Good evening. We would like to begin this evening's recognitions by announcing our new board officers for this school year. Dr. Moore, Superintendent of Schools, would like to begin this evening's recognitions by recognizing the new board officers, for the 25-26 school year. Mr. Ramon Garza, this year's board president. Would you please come forward? Mrs. Linda Clark Sherrod, the board vice president. And Mr. Jose Jimenez is the board secretary. Thank you for your service to the community and congratulations. Board Trustee Amanda Arabia will assist with tonight's recognitions. Galena Park I.S.D. would like to recognize some of our media partners. Please join us on stage as your name is called and smile pretty for a photo. Mr. Alan Jamel, freelance writer and contributor to North Channel Star. Please join us on stage. Mr. Nate Griffin, sports analyst for KRIV-TV and Fox 26 Morning News. And David Taylor with North Channel Star. These media professionals have been named to the Texas Association of School Boards 2025 Media Honor Roll by Galena Park I.S.D. The Media Honor Roll recognizes media representatives statewide for fair and balanced reporting of news about public schools. Galena Park honors and thanks you for your contributions to media coverage of great things happening in our community. Please accept these certificates from Galena Park I.S.D. and TASB for your hard work. Thank you. This concludes the recognitions for this evening.
Any board member may make a comment during this portion of the agenda without prior posting being required. Comment items may not pertain to the character of any student, staff, or board member and may not be discussed or deliberated upon at this time. Does anyone have a comment? I just want to first congratulate Norma on a year well done, and also think this is the first time that I've been on the board for 15 years that's actually somebody's birthday on a meeting night, and today is Norma's birthday, and like I said, I texted her this morning, happy birthday, Miss H, because that's how I remember her in high school. So happy birthday, Miss H.
Thank you. Thank you.
I guess nobody wants to say, but I always want to congratulate my colleagues on getting nominated for School Board of the Year. So we have our work cut out for September, so hopefully by our October board meeting, we will already be Board of the Year. And I want to wish also the Mustangs and the Yellow Jackets a wonderful year this year, and starting off with football here pretty soon. I know it's been hot. So I hope they're having good practice and they're ready for the year.
Okay. Let's try that again. So our board is a finalist for State Board of the Year. They've already been named as a top 5 board in Texas. Texas is a big place, guys, ladies and gentlemen. And so when you're in the top 5 in the state of Texas, you've done something. So while they're not very braggadocious, I am. So can y'all help me out? Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Moore.
Hey, John, my turn. Actually, I want to welcome everyone back to a wonderful school year. We've had a very eventful summer, but we stand united as a team. And the reason that this board won this award and gets the recognition is truly not because of us, it's because of you. Because everyone that's in the classrooms, everyone that's out there driving the students, the ones that are feeding the kids and teaching the students every day, thank you. Without you guys, we wouldn't be getting any recognition. So we volunteer, we run for office, we have these fun things called elections, but we do it because we care about the kids and we care about you and the families that are Galena Park I.S.D. So thank you for making us look good. And I'm excited for a brand new year, and I think we're going to do even better this year. So we'll stand together.
We now come to the business portion of tonight's meeting. We invite and encourage you to stay for the remainder of the meeting. However, if you need to leave early, we understand, and this is the convenient time to do so. We appreciate your attendance. Please come again. Ed Martier, Director for Facilities Planning and Construction, will provide a 2016 and 2024 bond program and facilities construction update.
President Garza, Board of Trustees, Dr. Moore, Cabinet, I'm here to give you an update on the bond work. $2016 bond. Galena Park High School Phase 2, we're still doing closeouts and some warranty issues. We're getting really close. You're actually doing a change order tonight, approval for it. Pyburn Elementary, we're on the same boat. We're almost done. You're going to be approving the change order as well, and then we just have after the audit, the final payment will be done. 2024 bond. Cimarron Elementary replacement drawings are ongoing. We're past the design development phase. That's going to go out to bid October, and we hope to award it January next year. Galena Park High School Phase 3A. That's going to be the field house. As you notice, that old field house has been demoed. It's empty and it's ready to go. We're actually awarding the contract to the contractor tonight. Galena Park High School Phase 3B, that's under design development. We are going to have something for you to look at and approve in your closed session sometime in August. And that is it. Any questions?
Question?
Thank you.
Thank you, Ed. Vivian Killian, Executive Director of Elementary Staffing and Governmental Relations, will present the Texas Association of School Board Public Manual Update 125.EFB Local Instructional Resource Library Material FD Local Admissions FFA Local Student Welfare Wellness and Health Services FM Local Student Activities FNCE Local Personal Communication Devices, Electronic Devices, as presented for the Board of Trustees, review and adoption of the first and final reading. Thank you, Ms. Killian. We will now move on to the new business. Is there a motion to approve the renewal of general liability, auto liability, and physical damage, educators' legal liability, and crime insurance for the term of September 1, 2025 through September 1, 2026 from the Texas Political Subdivision Joint Self-Insurance Fund, contract number F0703, via an interlocal agreement for an annual premium of $373,891?
I, Norma Hernandez, move we approve the renewal of general liability, auto liability, and physical damage, educators' legal liability, and crime insurance as presented.
I, Amanda Arabia, second the motion.
All in favor? All opposed? And all abstained? The motion carries 6-0 with one abstention. Is there a motion to approve that the Board of Trustees determine that Galena Park I.S.D. is agreeable to entering the agreement for a limitation of the taxable value of the property for maintenance and operations ad valorem tax purpose pursuant to the application filed by NRG Greens Bayou 6 LLC, subject to only upon the board's future consideration and approval of a final agreement containing the terms of such a limitation?
I, Noe Esparza, move we approve that the Board of Trustees determines that Galena Park I.S.D. is agreeable to entering an agreement pursuant to the application filed by NRG Greens Bayou 6 LLC as presented.
I, Jose Jimenez, second the motion.
A motion was made by Noe Esparza and second by Jose Jimenez. All in favor? The motion carries 7-0 with no abstentions. Is there a motion to approve additions, revisions, or deletions to district policies as recommended by TASB Policy Service and according to the instruction sheet of TASB Localized Public Policy Manual Update 125 at first and final reading?
I, Amanda Arabia, move we approve additions, revisions, or deletions to TASB Local Policy Manual Update 125 as presented.
I, Norma Hernandez, second the motion.
A motion was made by Amanda Arabia and second by Norma Hernandez. All in favor? The motion carries 7-0 with no abstentions. Is there a motion to approve revisions to district policy EFB Local Instructional Resource Library Material at first and final reading?
I, Norma Hernandez, move we approve revisions to district policy EFB Local as presented.
I, Linda Sherrod, second the motion.
A motion was made by Norma Hernandez and second by Linda Sherrod. All in favor? The motion carried 7-0 with no abstentions. Is there a motion to approve revisions to district policy FD Local Admissions at first and final reading?
I, Noe Esparza, move we approve the revisions to district policy FD Local as presented.
I, Adrian Stevens, second the motion.
A motion was made by Noe Esparza and second by Adrian Stevens. All in favor? The motion carried 7-0 with no abstentions. Is there a motion to approve revisions of district policy FFA Local Student Welfare, Wellness, and Health Services at first and final reading?
I, Jose Jimenez, move we approve revisions to district policy FFA Local as presented.
I, Amanda Arabia, second the motion.
A motion was made by Jose Jimenez and second by Amanda Arabia. All in favor? A motion carried 7-0 with no abstentions. Is there a motion to approve revisions to the district policy FM Local Student Activities at first and final reading?
I, Norma Hernandez, move we approve revisions to district policy FM Local as presented.
I, Adrian Stevens, second the motion.
A motion was made by Norma Hernandez and second by Adrian Stevens. All in favor? The motion carries 7-0 with no abstention. Is there a motion to approve revisions of the district policy, FNCE local, personal communication devices, electronic devices at first and final reading?
I, Noe Esparza, move we approve revisions to district policy FNCE local as presented.
I, Norma Hernandez, second the motion.
A motion was made by Noe Esparza and second by Norma Hernandez. And I wrote this down. All in favor? We know who to blame. But obviously we voted 7-0 with no abstentions. Okay. Call Noe. Is there a motion to approve naming Amanda Arevia as a delegate and Jose Jimenez as alternate to the 2025 TASB Delegate Assembly to be held on September 13, 2025?
I, Norma Hernandez, move we approve naming Amanda Arevia as delegate and Jose Jimenez as alternate to the 2025 TASB Delegate Assembly as presented.
I, Adrian Stevens, second the motion.
A motion was made by Norma Hernandez and seconded by Adrian Stevens. All in favor?
Oh, boy.
Yes.
The motion carried 7-0 with no abstentions. That was a quick second. With respect to the general consent agenda, do we want to remove any items for a separate vote or take the agenda as is?
I, Noe Esparza, move we approve the general consent agenda as presented.
I, Jose Jimenez, second the motion.
A motion was made by Noe Esparza and second by Jose Jimenez. All in favor? The motion carried 7-0 with no abstentions. With respect to the construction consent agenda, do we want to remove any items for a separate vote or take the agenda as is?
I, Amanda Arabia, move we approve the construction consent agenda as presented.
I, Norma Hernandez, second the motion.
A motion was made by Amanda Arevia and second by Norma Hernandez. All in favor? And the motion carried 7-0. With respect to the financial consent agenda, do we want to remove any items for a separate vote or take the agenda as is?
I, Amanda Arabia, move we approve the financial consent agenda as presented.
I, Adrian Stevens, second the motion.
A motion was made by Amanda Arevia and second by Adrian Stevens. All in favor? And the motion carried 7-0 with no abstentions. The following documents were presented to the board for information. Dr. Juana Giacona, Chief Administrative Officer, presented Early Head Start Policy Council meeting minutes from May 2025, the Early Head Start Update and Fund 205 Expenditure Report Summary for May 2025. B, Mr. Ben Poppy, Chief Financial Officer, presented 1, the Tax Collection Report for May 2025, 2, the Tax Collection Report from June 2025, 3, the Certification of the Tax Collection Rate, 4, the 2016 Bond Program Financial Report as of June 30th, 2025. Number 5 was the 2024 Bond Program Financial Report as of June 30th, 2025. 6, federal grants received for the period September 1, 2024 through August 31st, 2025. 7, the quarterly investment report for the periods of March 1st, 2025 through May 31st, 2025. 8, the general fund budget summary report for the period of September 1, 2024 through May 31st, 2025. 9, the annual report of the district comparative purchase program management fee for fiscal year 2025 through 2026. There being no other business before the board at this time, this meeting is adjourned. The time is 6:37 p.m. I'm putting